Good morning. Uh, we're going to get into a complicated problem, and we're going to compress it and try to get it, we can understand it and correct the problem. This is the disappearance of the Sixth Amendment, which contains the instruction that we should have access to a trial by jury. This has been considered the glory of Anglo-Saxon law, and it's leaving us. What we see instead, and I'll cite statistics, is that you have, if you have 100 people who are convicted of a crime, and it's in the States, on average, 94% have not had a trial. On the federal government, 97. In some rogue states, and I'll call them rogue, like New York State, 98. And what's given to them instead of a trial? It's something called a plea bargain. And it's pretty much blackmail. You tell the accused, hey, I can send you to jail for 1 year if you plead guilty. If you don't want to plead guilty, well, we'll charge you with this other crime that you can get 3 years from, and that you can plead guilty, you can have a trial, but if you made a mistake and you lose, tough. And most people cave, and a fair number that don't cave just get very bad results, and they just spend the rest of their life really regretting it. And this is something that's not in the Constitution. It was just a way to handle a problem that came up when the courts had to face some kind of strange rules. Anyway, without my getting into it, I'll talk about it all later. The standard of proof, the rules of law were such that it was very, very hard to convict anybody, but also it just took an ungodly time, which is just unpractical. And so the attorneys for the prosecution said, hey, we can't do this. Well, what we'll do is do these plea bargains. And what we can do, it's a very, very simple process, is to eliminate totally those excessive conditions of convicting somebody that not only are logically wrong, but on a practical basis are much too much long to actually do the trials. We don't have the manpower, we don't have the time, we barely have the jurors. So let's go ahead and do this plea bargaining. Now, I have a very simple approach to it. Let's go back, correct from the base the mistake of the conditions that were chosen, and pick one that will work better, that are shorter, and that will be agreed upon by both sides. And so we'll get on with this next time, and I want you to be with me. We're talking about a big, big issue. Bye.